let's talk about building dApps with Scaffold Stellar. The Stellar network thrives on decentralized applications that help users interact with Web3 in familiar Web2 fashions so that they can interact and do actions on chain with whatever your dApp decides to do. And Scaffold Stellar is a tool that helps you go from nothing to a working dApp in just a few steps. And it includes a bunch of things right away. It has a configured Rust environment for smart contracts, a working React app with build tooling. It has starter smart contracts. It has Stellar Wallet Kit integration and reusable front-end hooks. Some of the tools that you'll also have as you're developing your dApp are generation tools for smart contracts, client-side code generation so that you can interact with your smart contracts from a JavaScript front end, and a rich development mode in Scaffold Stellar that manages your keys and contracts, has hot reload for your contracts and hot reload for your front end as you're developing your app. And so now I'm going to go through some of those tools and then talk about the challenge of this hackathon. The docs that you'll use, and there'll be a lot more links available in the hackathon, but scaffoldstellar.com, and on the AHA company, our GitHub page, because we're the builders of Scaffold Stellar. In order to start a Scaffold Stellar project, you'll have installed the Scaffold Stellar tool and you'll initialize a new project that'll make a new project folder and kick off your project. You'll install your dependencies using npm because this is a JavaScript node project. You'll run the project using npm run dev or npm start, and that's going to run the Stellar Scaffold tool and the front-end build tool Vite at the same time. So while that's running, that takes a bit to compile. And so what you can do is look at what components of the project are. So this is the basic directory structure as it is right now for a Scaffold project. The contracts folder is where your smart contracts are. A fresh Scaffold Stellar project starts with 3 starter smart contracts, 2 token interfaces, a fungible and a non-fungible. These are OpenZeppelin audited contracts, so you can start with those. There's also a simple guess the number contract that also shows a project where you can have a simple guess the number game, and that is a starter project to show you a simple smart contract example. If you want to generate other contract examples to give you somewhere to start from for your smart contracts, you can use Stellar Scaffold Generate Contract, and that will list available contract examples from these are OpenZeppelin example contracts. And so you can import those into your project from the command line. You can also use the OpenZeppelin contract wizard and use that to check and uncheck different options for the smart contract that you want to have in your project. And there's tooling on the OpenZeppelin wizard for integrating with Scaffold Stellar. In the directory structure, you'll also see the packages. So once you run npm run dev or npm start, that'll do this client-side code generation. And so this packages folder has, imagine like npm packages for your smart contract. And so that's what you'll use on the front end to interact with your smart contract. And there's examples throughout the code base to show that interaction with the example guess the number project. In the source folder, that is your React app. And so all of your front end code is here. So you can take what the starter code is and rip things out and replace them with what you want to use. In the hooks folder inside that source folder is where the React hooks for using wallet, notification, subscription. These are some useful hooks that you might use in your app. The environments.toml file is a top-level file that is important to using Scaffold Stellar because it defines your different environments. So by default, the development environment is going to use your local network and assume you're going to do local development on your local Stellar network, so you're not constantly deploying to testnet or spending XLM to deploy to mainnet while you're in development. And so in this file, you'll have lots of comments that you can see that will show you how to adjust it as you're developing. In order to deploy your front-end app, you'll need to update your environments.toml to point to the contract address that you have deployed onto testnet or mainnet, and use those C addresses to reference your contracts. Using npm run build, that will create a build artifact of your front end app, of your Web 2 app, that you can then ship anywhere that you want, even GitHub pages. So the challenge here for this hackathon is that you have an open innovation challenge that you can build really whatever kind of dApp you want to build, starting from using this build tool to get started and run really quickly. And so we're really looking forward to seeing what you're going to build. And especially since this is really an open field innovation challenge, I'm really excited to see different categories of challenges, really excited to see people using different areas of Scaffold Stellar, using the hooks and using different tooling around Scaffold Stellar to build ambitious dApps. So let's go. We're all really excited to see what you're going to build, and looking forward to interacting with you throughout the hackathon.